Shame is different than defeat. One, a score. The other, a scar. Once there were leaders and legends, epic wins, treasured titles. Now, investigation, resignation. Glory is infamy. Victory is vacancy. What price success? What cost conquest? Today, they play to banish the past, to build the future. A new day, a new way. It begins now.
Tonight, as Ohio State and Miami get set to square off in our college football primetime presented by Hampton Hotels, for the Canes on their home field for the first time tonight, and for their fans, they hope that those scars do begin to heal, and the looking forward starts right now tonight against the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Many of the senior players for the Canes and their new head coach have told us we're not quite sure what the emotions will be when we come through the tunnel and the smoke, knowing it's the first game of our final season. An excited crowd, and the smoke clears for Al Golden and the Hurricane. Tonight, here in South Florida, on a warm night, the Cane fans are ready as the ACC and the Big Ten are set to square off. We told you what the matchup is. Both teams with many of their suspended players back. In the first 2 weeks for Ohio State and the opening week against Maryland for the Hurricanes, there were a lot of bodies missing, and there's a lot of big bullets in those guns. Some of them are still missing, but some are back tonight. With more on that, let's go down to Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, Brad, for Miami, they'll likely have the bigger impact tonight because all 5 guys who will be playing will be starting in this game. Quarterback Jacori Harris said he had an anxiety attack watching the team play without him in the last game. The quarterback of their defense returns, Sean Spence. They get some depth back on the defensive line in Ojomo and Forston. And wide receiver Travis Benjamin, who torched Ohio State last year for 130 all-purpose yards, he will get the start tonight. For Ohio State, they have 3 guys back, but only 1 starts tonight. Quarterback Travis Howard. The guys who were key playmakers in the game a year ago aren't here. DeVere Posey, Dan Herron still serving that 3-game suspension. Of course, Terrell Pryor not here anymore.
Thanks, Holly. And of course, Terrell Pryor had 346 yards with total offense himself. He's now an Oakland Raider. Boom Herron, DeVere Posey, they got to wait a couple more weeks. Brad Nessler with Todd Blackledge and partner. With all that said, how do you replace all that offense from Ohio State with what they've got to work with this year?
Well, it's next man up. You got to have some guys step up and make big plays, because you can't win a game like this without big plays. Jake Stoneburner, the tight end, has been the big play guy. It's got to be someone else tonight, though. Maybe one of the young wide receivers. I think it might be the freshman quarterback, Braxton Miller, who did not play last week against Toledo, that has to get in this game tonight and make some plays with his arms and legs.
I think Holly already said it. The key player back for Miami is their senior quarterback.
Yeah, Jacori Harris did not play well against Ohio State last year. 4 interceptions. He did not play well in his last start in the Sun Bowl and was benched. He wants to play tonight, and I think he has a great chance of leading his team to victory if he is patient and if he is like a point guard and distributes the ball to playmakers instead of trying to make the plays all by himself.
So excited to be back in that lineup. As Holly said, it was very hard on him watching that first game, the opening week loss to Maryland. They had a bye week in between for Al Golden. Some of the coaches said as well that was good to get them prepared for this game tonight. Luke Fickell, also first-year head coach on the other side, former nose guard for the Buckeyes back in the 90s, taking over after the resignation of Jim Tressel. So a lot of new faces, a lot of familiar faces. And the fans here tonight have been waiting for the Hurricanes 2011 edition to show up. They weren't crazy about that loss to Maryland. They would like to turn that around tonight. Miami won the toss and deferred, so that means Ohio State and Jordan Hall and Jamal Berry will be back deep, awaiting the kick from Jake Whitelaw. Last year, it was Ohio State with a big win. Miami hoping to turn the tables tonight. And the kick will go to Berry. near the goal line. And he is knocked down before he can even get to the 20-yard line. Nice job on the special teams by Denzel Perryman, a true freshman. Let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players tonight. This is a guy that Todd talked about, Braxton Miller, the highly touted freshman. He'll be taking the snaps from one of the best linemen, not just in the Big Ten, but in the country. Mike Brewster calls all the shots. The fourth-year senior, four-year starter at center. And Etienne Sabino has done a nice job after redshirting last year. He leads the team in tackles going into this game tonight.
Right away, Ohio State comes out with a spread formation. The tight end Stoneburner out in a flex position.
On the left side, and that's where they'll run it. Stoneburner trying to get a block, and he did. And big Carlos Hyde takes it out. A nice gain on first down before Telemac from the secondary can make the stop.
Last week against Toledo, I think Ohio State thought that they could line up in I formation and just play smash mouth and knock Toledo off the ball and win the game. But Toledo created a lot of problems against the Ohio State running game in those tight formations. So this is a new strategy, spreading things out against the Miami defense tonight.
Hyde got 6 on his first carry. Now Bauserman's going to throw it out in the flat, and it's too far in front of Chris Fields. Incomplete, and that'll bring up third down at 4. Ohio State with their opening third down here, 41% through the first 2 games. As you take a look at Joe Bauserman, the senior, in the shotgun.
Again, Stoneburner has been his go-to guy. He's on the line. The end of the line is the tight end right now.
Bauserman loads and goes deep down the sideline. Overshot Fields, who had a step back there, but pretty good coverage as well by Lee Chambers. And it'll bring up fourth down. And so punting situation, and that always means the dangerous Travis Benjamin is on the other end awaiting this kick.
He had a 79-yard punt return for a touchdown against the Buckeyes last year in the third quarter of that ball game.
Ben Buchanan to punt. This will be his 10th punt of the early season. And this one could be returnable. Nope, fair catch called for by Benjamin. He'll take it at the 37-yard line. So let's take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players for the Hurricanes, led by Jacori Harris, number 3 in almost all passing categories career-wise for the Canes. There have been a lot of good ones that have played quarterback here. Travis Benjamin, we just mentioned him, not only as a return man, but as a receiver, very dangerous. And Sean Spence, Holly talked about it defensively, he is their leader. First snap will be at the 37-yard line. Jacori Harris, I said to him yesterday, you know, you and Travis didn't play in week 1. If I was you, I'd just flip it out to him and see if he could do something on the first snap of the ball game. He looked at me with a sly grin on his face and said, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. But they'll hand it off. And it's a big hole up the middle. And this might be a touchdown if he can get his balance. Lamar Miller all the way to the 9. That's the way you open up the home season.
I talked to Art Keogh, the offensive line coach, and he said if we can run for 100 tonight, we'll give ourselves a great chance to win. Just 100 yards is all we want.
Halfway there.
They're halfway there on one play, and this guy, Lamar Miller, they told us we want to get him 25 touches tonight. He's a home run, big play guy. Right out of the box, a huge one.
So right out of the box, they've got first and goal at the 9. Miller and Higgins in the backfield. The tight end, Walford, in motion. And the pitch is to Miller, who just had the long run. He's got blockers in front, trying to get to the corner, and got inside the 5. Andrew Sweat knocked him out of bounds. Miller had 8 yards on 3 carries last year. He did have a kick return for a touchdown against Ohio State, but he splashes on the scene. There's what he did against Maryland a couple of weeks ago. Now they're going to give him a breather, and they'll bring in Mike James.
Yeah, Mike James is a little bit more of a physical runner, a little more of a downhill runner at 222 pounds, about 10 pounds heavier than Lamar Miller.
They call Lamar Miller Dash, which he already has. They call Mike James Smash. Let's see if he gets the call behind the fullback. Play action.
Oh, wide open in the back.
Jacori Harris has it incomplete. off the hands of his tight end.
Well, Jacori Harris was looking right the whole way, but on the backside, Clive Walford was going to be wide open. Watch this tight end run to the back of the end zone, and he goes unaccounted for with the Ohio State defense. Jacori Harris is looking the other way,
oh boy,
and Walford's in the back, wide open.
Now they got 3rd and goal.
Second down, a good down for play action, and they had a guy open. Jacori Harris wasn't able to find him.
Now they got Benjamin and Hearns both split to the right from the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal. Going to try to snap it off, and does, to Alan Hearns for the touchdown. Quick strikes by Miami, and they lead 6-0.
You know, you used the phrase snap it off, and he did, but he put beautiful touch on that pass because it had to go over the head of the star nickelback Tyler Moeller right to Benjamin. That was a beautiful throw by Jacori.
Wycline for the point after. 7-0 in the opening couple of minutes. Most of the work done by Lamar Miller. 54 yards, keeping his balance to get it down to 1st and goal, and then on 3rd and goal, Jacori Harris. Alan Hearns, 7-0 Kings. The ACC on ESPN from Sun Life Stadium in South Florida, where the Canes of the ACC have a touchdown lead in the early going. Courtesy of Lamar Miller and a Jacori Harris to Alan Hearns for the touchdown. 63 yards in just 4 plays. That's the way you want to start off your home season.
And a great job by Jacori Harris after not getting the completion on 2nd down, coming back on a tougher down to throw 3rd down and making a beautiful throw.
So Wyclaw on a kick again to Berry and Hall. Jamal Berry will wait on this one at the 2-yard line. And again cut down before he can get to the 20. Nice job on the special teams on both kickoffs so far. That was Eduardo Clements that time. Jordan Hall now in at the tailback spot. One of those suspended players who's seeing his first action for Ohio State. Bauserman throws on the run and in and out of the hands of Spencer.
You know, Holly mentioned that the quarterback of this Miami defense, Sean Spence, is back. And why that's so important is not only did they have to play a lot of new guys last week, but Maryland had a very smart plan. They came out and were throwing wide screens the first several plays. The first couple drives of the first quarter, that's all they did. And they were running them ragged, and they didn't have a guy to get them lined up and calm them down. That's what Sean Spence brings to the defense. Not just his ability to make plays, his ability to calm the other guys around him.
Another in the long line of great linebackers that have played at the U. 2nd and 10. Bauserman's going to keep it himself on the option and got about 3.
See, they've got to do that because when Braxton Miller comes into the game tonight, that's where he's going to have the ability or the opportunity to make plays for Ohio State. Bauserman's not going to make those plays running the football against this fast Miami defense. Braxton Miller will, but they've got to set it up and go ahead and go through those plays right now so that it's the same when Miller comes into the game.
3rd down at 6. This is when, so far this season, Bauserman has looked for Stoneburner, the tight end. Extra man coming. He'll flip it out complete to Jordan Hall, but he's run out of bounds short of the 1st down, and it was Sean Spence who tracked him down.
Yeah, well, Jordan Hall is an excellent receiver and elusive in space. Watch Sean Spence track him down in man coverage and then make the sure tackle out of bounds short of the 1st down.
So a punting situation again will bring out Buchanan. 2nd straight 3 and out for the Buckeyes. And again, Travis Benjamin, the senior out of Belgrade, is back deep. And anytime he touches it, it could turn into points. Nice kick, though. High and deep. Benjamin caps under it at the 23. Given ground to try to gain some. Got the corner. Travis Benjamin down the sideline. Into Buckeye territory.
So, Brad, you can put the film on from last year and show your punt coverage guys this guy is dangerous, but you can't simulate it in practice. You can't work on punt coverage in practice and have a guy this fast on your scout team. He just outruns the edge of the coverage. That shouldn't happen, but it's an underestimation of the speed of Travis Benjamin on the return.
They're going to say he stepped out at about the 47, which is right about there. Nonetheless, great return. 49-yard kick and 24 yards coming back the other way. So the Canes, great field position for their second offensive possession. And they'll come straight ahead with Miller again. This time on his opening carry of a drive, only got about 3 yards after going 54 the first time he touched it.
You know, it's interesting. I mentioned it, Art Keogh, the longtime offensive line coach here, who said we need to get 100 yards. And he made an interesting observation. He was so respectful of this Ohio State defense and how physical they are. He says it's a lot like when we used to play those great Florida State teams. Just get 100 yards. I mean, if we could just get 100 to give balance, we'll be okay.
Miller's going to be brought down short of the first down, a couple yards shy. It'll bring up a third down. Travis Howard, another of the players that the Buckeyes just got back this week, is the guy that made the tackle. So now Higgins will come back in, and so will James. And again, that adds a little more punch on short yardage as Braxton Miller's taking some snaps on the sidelines.
Yeah, see, the problem is with the guys that are missing, Ohio State just lacks playmakers right now. They don't, and it's not just Bosman's fault. They've got to find other guys step up to make plays.
Play fake. The throw and the flats complete to Higgins. I think the forward progress has got a first down. He will. Nice job to take that one off his shoelaces. A little bit low, but he got to it and made a nice grab.
And that's the kind of decision that Jed Fish and Al Golden want to see out of Jacori Harris. You read deep to short. You look down the field. If it's not there, you take the underneath throw. Take what the defense gives you. I know it's an old cliche, but for Jacori Harris, it's taken him 4 years of his career to really buy into that and not think he has to force the ball down the field all the time.
You got to look at Jed Fish in his first year, the offensive coordinator here at Miami. Now with a first down, Harris play action, the bootleg's going to just flip it out, complete. And it's the tight end who took a big shot at the end of the play, but Walford holds on to it. Sabino put a hat on him to bring him down.
Same thing. You know, they took a shot there on first down. That was a play action designed to throw the ball down the field, but both receivers to his right were well covered. So he does what he's supposed to do. Get it to the outlet guy, get a positive gain, and come up with a second and reasonable yardage situation.
Jacori Harris, who made so many plays on his own in high school and was a legend basically with all those guys coming in here from the same high school. It took him a while to realize he doesn't have to make every play. He's got a bunch of guys out there that are playmakers. Just get it in their hands as they keep it on the ground. And James bounces off for a couple.
So Ohio State defense, they're just solid. They've been solid. And when you look at what they've done over the last 5 or 6 years, in terms of giving up points, they've finished in the top 6 in scoring defense the last 6 years in a row. Look at that. They've averaged 13.6 points per game. That's amazing.
They almost never give up 100 yards to a single rusher. Just about never. And so far, with that big run by Miller, he's well on his way. Third down and 9. Harris in the shotgun. Jacori fires near side, and what a catch by Hearns. And a first down. He was running out of real estate, and he had to snatch that thing in a hurry. He would have been out of bounds.
Well, he had single coverage with Hearns. Ohio State's going to come with a blitz, but it comes from too far off. And that enables Jacori Harris to have time to throw this out route. Watch the blitz come from so far off, it never gets near Harris, and he's able to load up and make that throw easily for the first down.
And you see him put the brakes on, get both feet in. And a first down as the Canes have got something moving again against Ohio State at the Buckeye 27. Here's the toss. Miller. Found a little crease, popped through it for 3 or 4. Jonathan Hankins came over to make the hit.
Hankins is a guy that so far early in this season has really played well. He's a guy that showed flashes last year, but he was a little heavier, not in as good a condition as he is right now. Last week against Toledo, he played 67 snaps, and he played hard all of them. And so he's really been a bright spot in this Buckeye defense so far this year.
We've called him Big Hank since he was 6 years old. He's a little bit littler Hank, as Todd said, about 30 pounds lighter than last year. Still a big presence on the inside. They'll try to run wide the other way. Miller puts his head down and got to the 21. Still, it will bring up 3rd down.
I think this is a big play for the Ohio State defense right here. This is a needed stop on 3rd down for the Buckeyes because, again, there's a lot of momentum right now with the Hurricanes. And, again, the lack of playmakers on the Ohio State offense. You just don't know how many points they're going to be able to generate quickly in this game.
Plus, the Buckeye defense has been out there 2/3 of the first quarter.
That's right.
And it's hot. With 6 minutes remaining in the quarter, and Miami leading by a touchdown. 3rd down and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Lamar Miller trying to get there, and he's there and more. 1st and goal again.
Well, what a beautiful block by the freshman tight end Clive Walford. He's the receiving tight end, but watch number 46 lead this play and get the block on the safety, Howard, and just stays with it enough for Lamar Miller to get to the pylon.
Here's the toss to Mike James. And James is going to be stacked up.
He fumbled it forward, and you can't move the ball forward. But that ball was knocked out. And Mike James had a critical fumble last week, or in the opener against Maryland, right before the end of the first half, that was returned for a touchdown by the Terrapins.
There it came out, and as Todd said, it went out at the 1-yard line. Ryan Shazer is the guy that knocked it out. So they actually lost yardage. They're outside the 3 now. And Lamar Miller is back in there, and so are the wide receivers. Even with that, 2 tight ends in Walford and Ford. 2nd down and goal. Jacori Harris with the fade to the corner to Hearns. His 2nd touchdown.
Bradley Roby never saw the ball, had no idea where the football was, and that's the way you throw that if you're a quarterback. If that guy doesn't find the ball, throw it right past his ear to the back shoulder of your receiver. Watch Roby here. He's just locked in and never finds the football. And that's an easy throw and catch for Jacori Harris, and a 2nd touchdown for Allen Hearns.
In the first quarter, 2 touchdowns from Harris to Hearns, and now with 5:12 remaining in the first. All Hurricanes right now is Whiteclaw, and the extra point is good. Right now, the ACC has got the Big Ten on its heels here in South Florida. Canes by 14. Number 12 and number 1 in your screen there, hooked up for 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Miami 14-0. Leading the Buckeyes of Ohio State. The last drive, 53 yards in 11 plays. It was set up basically by that 24-yard punt return by the guy in the middle, Travis Benjamin.
I'll tell you what, Allen Hearns is making the most out of an opportunity. He worked well in camp. He was in great condition. He took advantage of a couple other wideouts on suspension. And he has made his way.
The kick will go to Berry, this time about the 4. This time he gets across the 20 and has a nice return. And again, a big opener for Jordan Hall. And he is making the most of his first appearance in a Buckeye uniform here.
That's what the Buckeyes need to live with right now. They've got to try to use that big offensive line, knock Miami off the ball. They're a quick defense, but they're not a real big defense up front. And then mix in some quarterback runs with Braxton Miller. And right now, Jordan Hall's doing everything he can to give this Ohio State offense a jump start.
He's already got 41 yards since he's come in. And a first down at the 45 here in the final minute and a half of the first quarter. They're going to keep working it. Hall's got another gaping hole, and he's got 12 or 13 more yards.
One of the things about Ohio State, you know they're physical, you know they've got the big offensive line, but they have an outstanding fullback too in Zach Boren. 6 foot, 252 pounds. Watch number 44 lead this play up in here. I mean, he is a hard-nosed football player, loves to hit linebackers, and for 3 years he's been the starter and the lead blocker for whoever's carrying the ball for Ohio State.
Now he's still in there, but Carlos Hyde's going to be behind him to give Hall a little bit of a breather. Carlos Hyde, a bigger back, but he doesn't give you that burst that Hall does, and he stopped right about at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is the second possession in a row now that the Buckeyes have gotten into Miami territory, having some success running the football. The last drive ended with the tip pass that was intercepted, and we still haven't seen Braxton Miller run the football yet.
He's faked it off that zone read, but has given it off so far. Second down and 9 here. The last time he threw it in a situation like this, it was picked off by JoJo Nicholas down at the 14-yard line. Play action for him. Now he's going to scramble around. He lost the ball, but he got it back. And it'll be a couple-yard loss. He's lucky that that one came back to him.
One of the reasons Ohio State likes to use play-action pass is because it's 7-man protection or 8-man protection. This was only a 2-man route. Only 2 wide receivers went out, and Miami was not fooled at all by the play fake.
Miami has had a near-perfect first quarter. 1 interception thrown by Jacori Harris, but everything else has worked beautifully. And at the end of 1, it's the Canes on their home field leading 14-0. Miami's got 2 touchdown passes, both of 3 yards from Jacori Harris to Allen Hurns. Jacori has an interception that he would love to have back after having 4 of them last season up in Columbus, but playing much better through 15 minutes tonight. Here's 3rd and long for Braxton Miller. And Hyde again. Nowhere to hide except straight up the middle. He's going to be close to another first down. Right at the 30-yard line. I think he's going to have it.
The encouraging thing for the Buckeyes is their offensive line is getting a good push on this Miami defense. Even though they don't have any points on the board, they are really getting after them, running the football and moving this defensive front. Eventually, that wears down a defense over the course of the game.
Now both teams over 100 yards rushing here, and we got a lot of time left in the first half. On first down, and it's Hall. And he blasts his way for 5 more yards.
And see, what happens is when you have success running it like Ohio State is right now, it forces a defense to commit extra guys to the line of scrimmage to try to stop the run. If you can't stop it with 6 or 7, you got to try to get 8 or 9 in there, and then that means man-to-man coverage without a safety helping on the passing game. So that's what Ohio State is setting up for right now, creating a one-on-one situation.
Hall again, and this time only a yard, maybe 2. Jimmy Gaines got over there, the middle linebacker, to make the hit. So it brings up 3rd down, and they're going to need about 4 here, I think. They've got to get to the 20-yard line. 10 minutes remaining in the half. Miami 14, Ohio State nothing on 2 Jacori Harris to Allen Hurns touchdown passes for the Canes. 3rd down, long 3. They'll keep it on the ground, and they're going to get another first down. If you can't stop them, keep bringing it.
That's confidence. You know, Miami is expecting a throw on 3rd down. Ohio State says, no, you know what, we're going to keep our normal personnel in, and we're going to keep running up inside. We're not going to try to get outside of your defense, but we're going to try to run right at the heart of your defense and see if you can stop us.
The Hurricanes gave up 151 yards to Maryland a couple of weeks ago in the season opener. And they've given up 115 here with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. At the 19-yard line. Bauserman pump fakes. And now he's going to lob it to the corner and over everybody. And again, no spiral on that, no spin on that ball, that's for sure. But he had to throw it out of bounds anyway. Let's take a look at Miami defense in the red zone. They allowed 4 scores in 7 road trips. Brought to you by Verizon. 3 field goals and a touchdown to the Terrapins. And the Terrapins gave West Virginia all kinds of fits today, but did succumb. It's a big day for the ACC in nationally televised games, in games against top 25 opponents. Hasn't been a whole lot of live passing for the Ohio State quarterbacks either. They might have to do one here at 3rd down and 6. The ball is picked up by Hyde. Blasts his way, and he's going to get a first down. What effort by Carlos Hyde on basically a broken play. And now we got a scrimmage going on at the end of it. But the end result is this run for a first down.
Yeah, and Sean Spence, again, number 31, was unblocked and right in the hole to stop the play. And Hyde ran out of the tackle, and then this is the end of the play. And probably good that it was called both ways.
So it's inside the 8-yard line. First and goal, Ohio State. They've been running, and they do it again with Jordan Hall, but he only got a yard. Basically, this entire drive, the entire drive, Todd, has been on the ground.
Yeah, they're running at the inside tackles, and that's McConnor Regis and Marcus Forston, the guys that they're going after. And again, the heart and soul of this Ohio State offense and really the team is their center, Michael Brewster, a 4-year starter. He's a Florida guy. He's from Orlando, and he is really leading the charge in the middle of this offensive line. Again, here's where you got to watch Stoneburner, Brad.
Yep. They haven't aimed one. They haven't aimed one at him. Regal's in there at tight end. Jordan Hall gets it to the 5. It's going to be 3rd and goal there. So this would be a huge play for the Miami defense. After a nice drive by Luke Fickell's Buckeyes, they need points, down 2 touchdowns, and we only got 7 minutes left in the half.
Stoneburner was not on the field on that second down play. Now he is on the field. He's one of several guys taking a look at that wristband for the play call here on a big 3rd down play.
Reed, Fields, and Spencer are the wideouts, and Stoneburner's right there on the right side of that offensive line. Bauselman flushed from the pocket. Running out of time and real estate and throws it into the 3rd row.
Well, he was looking for his guy, Stoneburner, on the corner route, but Miami had it covered. And he really did the smart thing. He tried to extend the play as long as he could, and then when he realized he couldn't make a throw, he threw it away to set up the field goal, because as you said, they need points right here.
Basil hasn't hit one yet this year, but they were 40 and 47. This should be like an extra point, 22-yard field goal attempt. Nothing's automatic, but this one's perfect. So finally, Ohio State gets on the scoreboard, but after a long drive, all on the ground, they come up with only a field goal. Travis Benjamin and Lamar Miller back deep. Lou Basil, who hit his first field goal of the year from 22 yards to cap that 64-yard drive in 16 plays, almost 6 minutes off the clock. Woody Hayes would have loved it, wouldn't he? 64-yard drive, all on the ground. This one will go Benjamin almost 3 yards deep, and Lamar Miller says, Travis, just stay right there.
Now Miami needs to get the ball to Benjamin a little bit. They've gotten it to Lamar Miller. Now they got to get it to number 3.
Here is Miller, and just a yard. I mentioned a big day for the ACC, including this game, and of course that one with the Seminoles at home against the #1 team in the country. Jacori Harris, nice play fake. Sets up, hit from behind, and threw an interception. Bradley Roby. He's got it coming the other way to the 24-yard line. Second interception now thrown by Jacori Harris.
And the same reason as the first interception. The ball was thrown late. And really, that was one he should have dropped down to an underneath receiver. You read deep to short. Now watch on the deep play action. He's looking for Hearn on the corner route. And the ball is late getting out there. There's a little pressure from Simon. The ball is underthrown, and Roby makes the play. But watch Roby drop underneath the route. You got to get off of that route and drop it down to a running back and get 4 or 5 yards if you can.
So for the good things Jacori Harris has done in the first half, 2 touchdown passes. He's evened it off with 2 interceptions, and now the Buckeyes in business at the Canes 23. Jordan Hall, they stretch it out, and they're going to run him down. Running wide sometimes just doesn't work against the Canes defense.
No, I mean, you got to run with the sledgehammer inside, because that's where you have an advantage. Your size and strength inside against those guys, their defensive line and smaller linebackers. But they can run you down if you try to get to the edge.
Get anything out of that. So second down and long. Hyde into the middle of the pack. Only about a yard. Sean Spence was there along with Andrew Smith. And now it's third down. Not in goal. Again, they can get it down to the 2-yard line for a first down.
I think this is definitely a passing situation for Joe Bosserman. And again, read it and throw into an open window and do it quickly.
Plant your foot and let it rip. Third down and 6. Bosserman in the shotgun. There, play action, and that time he did let it rip, and Stoneburner was his intended receiver. Got a hand on it, but Telemac was back there defensively.
The ball was a little bit behind the intended receiver, Stoneburner. I'm not sure if it got deflected at all at the line of scrimmage, but the pass was behind Stoneburner. Watch it come out of his hand. It gets out quick, but it's behind him, and Stoneburner not able to get his body turned around to make the catch.
So Basil, who hit a 22-yarder for the first points of the night, will try one from 24. This time from the left hash, and he's got it up and good again. So Drew Basil, who came in 0 for 2 on the season in field goals, 2 for 2 tonight with a 24-yarder. And Bradley Roby's interception does turn into points for the Buckeyes. They don't get 7, but they do cut the lead to 14-6. 3:40 remaining in the half. The Buckeyes a kick. And this is going to be a short kick. Travis Benjamin got it at the 11-yard line. Cuts outside, gets what he can, and knocked out of bounds on the far side. First down to Miami at the 39. Miller picks up 3 or so. Storm Klein made the tackle, and Miami's got its full complement of timeouts here with 2 minutes left.
I'll tell you what, Ohio State's defense has settled down against the run. You know, after a couple big plays where they got gashed on a corner blitz. For the most part, they've settled down, and they're going to try to force this game into Jacori Harris's hands when they get to the second half. Make him beat you throwing the football and making decisions of when to throw the ball and where to throw the ball.
Their first-year head coach, Luke Fickell, knows a little bit about stopping the run. He was a run snuffer as a nose tackle for the Buckeyes back in the mid-90s. Here comes a blitz. Toss to Miller. Trying to follow his blockers. Still, he's collared after a short gain by Adam Bellamy. Here is Jacori with a third down and 5. Canes 4 out of 5 on their third down conversions. That's Benjamin in motion to the top of your screen. Harris gonna go deep. Got a man. Nice throw that time with great touch. And he got it to his old high school teammate Tommy Streeter.
Well, he didn't underthrow this one. His 2 interceptions were late and underthrown. This one was on time and out to the outside shoulder of the receiver, away from both defenders who were converging on him. A beautiful throw. Yep,
can't throw it any better than that. Streeter was his favorite target. There, the ball, and he actually, I think he caught it with his hands and then his knees. Yeah. Miller flanking Jacori Harris in the gun, and he's going to try to get it to him on a middle screen, and it was tipped away by Bellamy.
Yeah, when a defensive lineman rushes and they let him go, he knows something's happening.
Your hands go up immediately.
Yeah, immediately. If you can't get there for a sack, then get your hands up, see if you can get a deflection.
So we're under a minute. Miami 14-6 leaders. They've led throughout, although the last 6 points have come from Drew Basil, the Buckeye kicker. They'll try to run a little draw to Miller. Get at least in the middle of the field inside the 25. Let's see if they take one of their timeouts here. No. Now they do. So Al makes the call on the sideline. We'll take the timeout as well. 43 seconds till halftime. Miami trying to add to its lead when we come back.
Second team timeout.
But right now, Miami's still got a timeout, and they're thinking more about getting a touchdown if at all possible. Jacori Harris in trouble, and now he's going to run with it, and he's got a first down. Good decision.
Yeah.
Now they'll hurry up here as They'll move the chain, stop the clock momentarily with 36 seconds to go.
They've got time, and they've got one more timeout in their back pocket. So Jacori gets them lined up. The clock started. Be ready to snap the ball and go.
Let's play it safe and just give it to James. And James weaving his way inside the 10.
Now you
got a timeout.
Yep, call a timeout. Get 3 more points. And make it a 2-score game.
And there's the timeout. And some of the fans wanted one shot at the end zone before taking the timeout and taking the field goal. But especially with how they moved it down the field after Ohio State has scored 2 field goals in a row, you don't want to go back to the locker room empty-handed on this thing. So Whiteclaw, this is only his 2nd field goal attempt of the season. And it's going to be a 25-yard attempt from the left side. Kicked on the way, and it's good. And that's how you do it to add to your lead. So Whiteclaw makes it 17-6 as we check in with Holly.
Coach, what made you decide to go for the field goal there?
Well, we're getting the ball to start the second half. I didn't want to mess around with it. You know, we had about 6-7 seconds left. Just wanted to take the 3 and then get the ball back to start the second half.
What concerns you the most about Jacori Harris right now and how he's playing with the 2 interceptions?
He's doing a lot of good things. You know, he just got to settle down. Both of them were on second reads, so he's trying to do too much. Should have went to the check down on both times. He shouldn't be thinking about throwing the ball that far down the field. His feet should tell him check down right now.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, he said what we were talking about, what Todd said as well. Don't mess around. Take the 3, get to the locker room, and get the football to start the 3rd quarter. Halftime score 17-6. Canes in front of the Buckeyes as we send it to our Wendy's halftime reports. And Reese Davis and the guys. Reese, the Miami Hurricanes, we're just about set to start the 3rd quarter, have the lead. You take a look at the first half statistically, and in some cases, we almost don't have statistics for you, like the Ohio State passing 4 yards.
Yeah.
Partner, I took rocket science in college. I did not pass that course, but I'm pretty sure you can't win too many football games with 4 yards passing.
No, they've got to do a better job. 1 for 11, the 2 quarterbacks combined. Braxton Miller had the interception off the tip pass. The only chance they have of winning this game is they've got to get some chunk plays, hitting some passes down the field. The running game is going well, but you can't lean on that to make all your yards and score your points. You've got to hit some passes.
Does that mean Braxton Miller's coming in?
I don't know if you have to start him, but if Bozerman doesn't get it going quickly, I think you go with Braxton Miller to try to win the game.
It'll be the Canes offensively to start the 3rd quarter. That's Travis Benjamin. He's been kind of waiting and itching to get his hands on the football to try to make a big play. Hasn't really happened so far for him tonight. Allen Hurns has the 2 touchdowns for the Canes. So here we go. 3rd quarter underway, and from the 5-yard line is Lamar Miller, who's had a sensational game so far, but he only gets out to the 25-yard line, and that's where Miami will go to work. Jacori Harris, first half, some good things and some bad things.
Yeah, his completion percentage was better, 8 for 13, but that old nemesis, the interception problem, throwing late deep down the field, cost him twice. And, you know, that's the one thing that Al Golden and Jed Fish really have been harping to him all summer. Hey, read deep to short and make quicker decisions. Don't go late back down the field. And both times he did it in that first half, it cost him with an interception.
So they'll set up shop at the 25-yard line here to open the 3rd quarter. They fake the fly sweep now. They're going to loft it out to Benjamin. But Ohio State's waiting for him. He did a nice little weave job, not going out of bounds, and he ended up getting about 7 yards out of that.
See, the thing that Benjamin gives the Miami offense that's different than Allen Hurns or Tommy Streeter is because of his speed, he makes you defend the whole field, whether it's horizontally like on this play or vertically down the field. But his speed is something that creates some stress on a defense.
So it's still 2nd down and 8 because of the penalty on the first snap, even though good positive gain for Travis Benjamin on that one. It'll be Miller. And Miller's bottled up by Andrew Sweat. Dropped him for a loss.
Yeah, Sweat and Sabino both, the 2 linebackers, in there quickly, right at the line of scrimmage before Miller had a chance to get any momentum going.
Now they put him in a spot they don't want to be in, 3rd down and long.
Watch both linebackers go right into the A gap. One of them's blocked, the other one's not. Sweat gets there unblocked and makes the tackle behind the line.
3rd down and 9. That'll put Jacori Harris in the shotgun. Mike James in the backfield with him. Ohio State thinking about a blitz. They back out of it. And Jacori Harris on the run. And he's just going to throw this one away.
What a great effort by John Simon. This was only a three-man rush by Ohio State. And Simon is working against their best lineman, Brandon Washington, and gets him, beats him, and forces Jacori Harris to leave the pocket. I mean, Simon just is one of those guys that plays with great energy, with a great motor every play. And that time, with a three-man rush, they forced the quarterback out of the pocket.
You can see on that replay, he was still running full blast even when he knew Jacori Harris was either going to throw it away or run out of bounds. He was still sprinting to the ball. So it's a punting situation. And this is a nice kick. Wow. Jordan Hall's got a backpedal all the way back to about the 17. And comes forward. And Hall's got a nice thing going here on the return. Jordan Hall across the 40. Cartwheels his way to the 43.
And just a productive player. A deep kick. Sometimes you outkick your coverage. And Jordan Hall, once you make the first guy miss, which he does, then he just picks up a few blocks on the other side of the field.
Well, he had to plant about 6 times as he weaved his way out on that nice return to the 43.
Well, they're going to have to get him stretched out, maybe get some fluids in him. You know, unfortunately, maybe they weren't able to do that at halftime because he didn't have that problem in the first half.
Right.
But they've got to get him back ready to go because he has been the only dynamic playmaker they've had so far tonight.
Carlos Hyde will take his spot in the backfield. It's Bosserman at quarterback at the 43-yard line. Carlos Hyde straight ahead. Tough run out to the 50. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, to start the second half, when Jordan Hall came out, he was stretching those calves and the hamstrings. He was talking to their athletic trainer, Doug Callan, and he was drinking some extra liquids. I couldn't tell if it was cramping or if he was just tight, so it has been a problem here to start this half. But I also caught up with Coach Luke Fickell. I asked him, what's your plan for your quarterbacks here in the second half? He said, we're going to continue to mix them in. We see Bosserman in there right now, but he said, we've got to find somebody with a hot hand, and then we'll stay with him.
Here's Hyde trying to follow his blockers. Looks like he's going to be a little bit short on the first down, maybe a couple of feet. Jimmy Gaines knocked him off his feet along with Marcus Forston. So it's third down and that much, and Ohio State without a huddle. Little stunt going on the front wall for the Canes. Bosserman has it tipped and knocked down. He's only 6'1". He's got a big windup, Todd, that you were telling me about, and it didn't help there.
Yeah, it took a long time to get that ball out of his hands, and it didn't come out very high. I mean, that was an easy deflection. I don't know if it was Regis or if it was one of the linebackers.
It was Regis, hit him right in the elbow.
Yeah.
So he barely had to jump for that one. So nothing doing again by the Buckeyes offense, and they'll have to punt. This has been their best weapon of the night, Buchanan, their punter. And again, a nice kick. Fair catch, taken by Travis Benjamin at the 12-yard line. With Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe, I'm Brad Nessler. I thought about wearing that same shirt tonight. That is a good-looking shirt. First down at the 12. Lamar Miller again does a great job of just weaving his way through the traffic and avoiding getting hit straight on. And boy, what a night he is having on the ground as the third quarter will come to a close. And already the Canes are holding up 4 fingers. They know that 15 more minutes and they'd have a home win and they'd even their record in this 2011 season at 1-1, but still a lot of football left. Can Ohio State come from behind? Can Miami hold on? We'll find out in the fourth quarter when we return. Start of the fourth quarter, Miami 17-6 on road test weekend. Ohio State's flunking the test right now. In the third quarter, and Todd Blackledge, I've seen some bad quarters. In fact, I've seen some dimes and nickels that weren't that shiny, but 6 yards and no first downs in a quarter is not very good.
No, it's
no
not.
First downs.
But they're still in the ballgame.
Yeah, that's the amazing
thing. Credit to their defense.
Second down and 3 to start the third for the Hurricanes. They flip it out. Travis Benjamin, nice moves, got a first down. Swung out of bounds. But with his forward progress, he got it by about a yard. The crowd on a still warm night of 82 degrees. It's cooled off about 10 since earlier in the afternoon when the warm-ups began. And they're just holding their breath here for the next 14.5 minutes, hoping their Canes can hold on. They haven't done much offensively either since the first quarter. This guy has been the workhorse tonight, though. Lamar Miller. And he's up to 171 yards on the ground.
And you almost get the feel like, even though the Ohio State defense has only allowed 17 points and they've been on the field a lot, they're going to have to do even more. They're going to have to turn the ball over again here in the fourth quarter and flip the field with a turnover, a block kick, something to give their offense a golden opportunity to score and cut into this lead.
Second down and 10, and now they go to the ground. And Miller for about 4. Bellamy made the stop, and we'll work our way inside 9 minutes.
We'll just go back, and I want you to watch the hustle of this guy right here. Marcus Robinson, one of those seniors that bought into Al Golden, the new coach. Watch him never give up on the play and chase it down and punch the ball out at the end. That's what you love to see your seniors do, make hustle plays like that. Couldn't have come at a better time than that for the Hurricanes.
And Al Golden told us of all the situations in transition and coaching different places. He's never seen seniors buy in to what he's selling like these guys have for him in his first year. Trying to get his first win and leading by 11 here with 8.5 to play. And Harris has got it wide open. Hearns. And that's been the main hookup for Jacori Harris, #1. Alan Hearns, the sophomore, right here in Miami. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, guys, one of the reasons the seniors have bought in so well, linebacker Sean Spence told us, is they've seen Coach Al Golden fight for them. He said, I can give you 100 little examples of how he has stood up and fought for our team, but the most important, he's got us better food. Our meals we missed last year. We were losing strength through the course of the season. Now we're on a regular eating plan, and he has helped us get regular meals. I think there's a saying, if you feed them, they will play.
Sort of like Taste of the Town, the Todd. If you put something out there, he will eat. At the 46 now for the Canes, and under 8 minutes to go. Buckeyes showing blitz, and they will come with a run blitz, and Lamar Miller's going to try to run away from it. Miller again covering up the football and gets to the 41-yard line. What a night this kid's had.
And making good decisions too. You know, he's not trying to hit a home run with every run. He tries to cross the field, realizes he's not going to get much, so he covers up the football and goes north and south. You know, if he gains 3 that time, so be it.
182 yards on 25 carries. They wanted him to get 25 touches. He's got more than that tonight.
I said 3. He got twice that many, I guess.
That he did. 2nd and 4. Mike James in there now. That's Travis Benjamin in motion. James, spin move, holding on for dear life to the jerseys. Andrew Sweat, and he brought him down by his jersey.
This looked like a potential mix-up as well, that James was able to turn around. Watch Jacori Harris think the back's coming the other way. Whoops, slip it back here.
Yeah, you talk about needing a stop if you're Ohio State's defense. Yeah. It's right here. Sweat and Klein, those guys, and Sabino, those linebackers, been busy tonight. They've done a good job, but they know they need a stop on 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. Jacori Harris fakes the toss, loads up to throw, and now scrambles around. Can he get to the sticks? He did.
What a good decision. This was a designed throwback. They were going to try to roll the quarterback to the right and throw it back to the tight end on the other side, and it wasn't there. And Jacori Harris made a play with his legs and got a much-needed 1st down instead of forcing a throw down the field.
I think it was Chase Ford who was the tight end you're talking about, Todd. As he snuck out there, Jacori had a look, thought better of it, and now under 6 minutes he's got a huge 1st down as Miami's driven it down to the Buckeye 32.
Because right now the other thing Miami's thinking is, hey, we've got a 2-score lead, so we're gonna eat as much clock as we can. We're gonna run the football, we're gonna stay in bounds, we're gonna take care of it, and we're gonna eat as much clock as we can.
Mike James will lose yardage on this carry. Sweat and Goebel combine on the stop, but they're not stopping the clock. It continues to roll.
Well, you think back to that interception, how close Christian Bryant was to not only picking off the ball down in Miami's territory, but it would have been a sure touchdown had he caught that, and this game would have been completely different right now.
As it is, the scoreboard is in Miami's favor, and so is the clock. At this next snap, there'll be 5 minutes to play. Harris, quick toss out to Benjamin. Little slip screen. Not going to get away from Tyler Moeller.
Well, it just seems like this Ohio State defense has played a bunch of plays. Been on the field a lot more than their offensive players, and they are still firing away out there.
You see a lot of guys with their hands on their hips. It's a hot night, and as Todd said, they've been out there all night. Miami taking all the time they can in the huddle, as I'm sure they will when they come up to the line of scrimmage on a 3rd down and 10. Jacori Harris taking his time. Play clock down to 5 and under. And he throws. Dangerous pass, but he got it to Tommy Streeter. Second time tonight they've hooked up on a big play.
Well, this is an advantage of having a 6'5" receiver, because you can throw it over a defensive back. In this case, Dominic Clark.
You talk about fitting one in there, though.
Well, there were two guys. You had the defensive end, J.T. Moore, number 50, who's out there, and Dominic Clark, who's only 5'10". And Jacori Harris threw it up for his big receiver, and another key 3rd down conversion.
And again, the clock under 3:45 on a 1st down in the red zone. The Canes in good shape to try a field goal, if nothing else, to try to make it a 2-touchdown lead. They might have a lot more than that, though. Mike James bangs his way for another 1st down. 1st and goal, Miami.
Boy, big-time block by the fullback, Maurice Hagans, on the linebacker. Outstanding block on Sweat. Watch number 33 lead up in here and hit Sweat right in the hole. It's a run blitz, and Hagan just puts him right on his back. And again, this is a fatiguing defense now of Ohio State. After 2 3rd down conversions that they couldn't stop and get off the field, that one right at their throat.
233 yards on the ground for Miami. Ohio State came into this game number 1 in the Big Ten and number 4 in the country defensively against the rush, and they're getting gashed tonight in South Florida. Mostly by that guy, Lamar Miller. 184 on 26 carries. What a great night for Lamar Miller. Mike James, a single setback behind Jacori Harris. Touchdown here, and it would be about all she wrote for the Buckeyes.
Jacori's letting the clock go down, but the game, you don't want to do it too far. You want to get your team to get off the line of scrimmage.
Mike James, and he's dragged down again. Jonathan Hankins holding on for dear life.
See, I always preferred in a situation like this, if you're trying to milk the clock, to spend your time in the huddle rather than come to the line of scrimmage and waste the time there. Because when those linemen come up to the line, they want to put their hand on the ground and go. So I always like to stay in the huddle a little bit longer and then break the huddle and come to the line and go with a normal rhythm instead of trying to milk the clock at the line.
Ohio State didn't take a timeout there either. It's 3rd down and goal. They could have stopped things. Miami's got it at the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal. James, there's a run blitz coming, and he's short, but he got to the 1-yard line.
I think you got to call timeout now, right?
I would think. I thought you should have the last play, but I don't see any coming. Luke Fickell is not going to do it. We're going to be under a minute, well under a minute. It's going to be 4th down and goal, and Miami's probably going to go for it because they're 99 yards for Ohio State away from doing anything.
Well, it just looks now like Luke Fickell has conceded that they're not going to be able to score twice. You know, so why? And they have 3 timeouts.
4th and goal at the 1. James, did he get there? Yes, he did with second effort. Touchdown, Miami, and that'll do it for sure.
Well, they brought the left guard around, a little power on the goal line. Harlan Gunn, number 66, is going to pull around and lead up in through here. Watch big number 66. All 310 pounds of them get up in there, and they run right behind him into the end zone.
Talk about an icing drive. 14 plays, 69 yards in almost 9 minutes. And they get the touchdown on the extra point. So the Hurricanes are going to win their home opener. Buckeyes are going to fall to 2-1. Final moments of this game when we come back. Lamar Miller's voice was heard throughout college football today, but it was Mike James with the last yard. 14 plays, 69 yards, almost 9 minutes. That's how you ice a game away in fine fashion for Miami. And now they'll kick off. And there's only a half-minute left for Ohio State. They have all their timeouts left, but I'm not sure why they do. But I'm not coaching the Buckeyes. A squib kick, and they're going to start work now from about their own 39-yard line. All right, partner, I'm just going to ask you something I would normally ask you off the air. Does this mean that Ohio State's not very good because they had trouble with Toledo? They beat up on Akron in the opener, and Miami was in the ball game until the last series against Maryland when Maryland had a pick 6. They might have won that game. Is Miami pretty good? Is Ohio State really struggling, or is it a combination?
I think it's both. I mean, I think Miami is pretty good. I think they're going to continue to get better. I think if Jacori Harris plays with maturity and makes good decisions, they've got playmakers. You got to remember too, maybe two of their best defensive players are still suspended. Olivier Vernon, their best pass rusher, Ray Armstrong, a starting safety. They'll get those guys back at some point. So I think this team under Al Golden and his staff will continue to improve. Ohio State, they got to decide what they want to do at quarterback.
Exactly.
And then they've got to get these young receivers to step up until Posey and Herron get back into the lineup, because they still have to sit out 2 more games. So they've got to find playmakers now, and they got to make a decision at quarterback.
Well, when was the last time Ohio State was held without a touchdown in a game and threw for 23 yards, which is what they have right now? And that includes 10 on the last play. Now here's a few more. This might be 10 more. Well, it's even more than that. It's just padding, though, on the last play of the ball game. As a happy first-year head coach at Miami, that is. And on the other side, same story. First loss for Luke Fickell, running the show for the Buckeyes. Tough night for one, a happy night for the other. And the fans, almost 67,000 of them, happy tonight with a win for the Canes as we go down to Holly.
Well, Coach, it's your first win here for the Miami Hurricanes. You've been handed some crazy obstacles here, but how did you control this group to worry about what they could control on the football field?
They're just focused. I'm so proud of the seniors, most particularly. They've given up so much for the last 10 months. They deserve this. And I just want to thank the fans and all the Miami people out there that really stayed with us this whole time. I really appreciate it.
How do you describe the performance of Lamar Miller? Over 100 yards in the first half. He was so stellar.
Yeah, I think the O-line came ready to play. You know, we had good pad level. Lamar made people miss. We thought, you know, that's what we want Hurricane football to look like. We wear you down, and then we get some big ones. And to finish the game on offense, that was the challenge for the team last night.
He wasn't perfect tonight, but what did you like, and what will you say to Jacori Harris after this game?
I'll say forget about the 2 interceptions. We'll coach them. All right, the leadership, a couple big throws in there, and then he really ran the operation well, especially the last 8 minutes of the game, 9 minutes of the game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
One win down.
That's it. Thanks very much.
Well, talking about pad level, there was nobody at the level of Lamar Miller tonight. He was a notch above, and so was Miami over Ohio State. 24-6 is our final score, as the ACC gets a big win here over the Big Ten and the Buckeyes of Ohio State. That's going to wrap it up. 24-6 of final. For Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our entire ESPN crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from Miami. We head back to the studio, and the Canes have their first win of this young season.